Welcome back to scorching Spain. It's Catalunya here for the third round of the FIM CEV Repsol, the Moto3 Junior World Championship, race number 2 this afternoon. And if anything, it's only gotten hotter since this morning. 16 laps ahead of the Junior Moto3 World Championship, 4.6 kilometers, 7 left-hand turns, and 9 right. It's going to be a very exciting race. Don't forget what happened in the opening race. Well, it was an absolute thriller. More to come on that one very, very shortly. You can see the fans in the paddock here at the Circuit de Catalunya very, very happy indeed. And why wouldn't they be? The weather is about 32 degrees there and thereabouts. And everybody rocking the short shorts as well. Very nice too. So here is the grid then. Here is the circuit bathed in sunshine for the Moto3 Junior World Championship. And well, what a race we had last time out. And I'm just trying to really refresh my memory from what happened. We've had so many races taking place.
Oh, I know.
From last time, and it was just so exciting, wasn't it? So many passes taking place, as we often see in the Moto3 Junior World Championship. And just a brilliant race, really, more than anything. We should be expecting more of the same this afternoon.
100%, and like I said, it's good that they have 2 races because it gives a chance for riders who've, crashed or had a bad race 1 to basically make it a better one in the second one.
Absolutely. So we'll have to see what happens. Don't forget if you were watching the first race earlier on this morning, then the grid order stays exactly the same as it did for the first race. For the second race, that applies, of course, also in Moto2 as well. You can see the crowds flocking in. Shorts and t-shirt weather for those guys. We're sat here in a lovely air-conditioned commentary box as well, I've got to be honest with you.
I'm about to go get my jacket soon.
I know, it's freezing in here as well. I need to turn the air conditioning up. It's honestly so cold. Somebody's put it on the Arctic setting, I think, or something along the lines of that. But nonetheless, a very, very exciting race is what we should be set for. Of course, going into this round, it was Jeremy L Koba who led the championship. That now has changed with Dennis Foggia, we thought, who took the victory last time out in the Moto3 Junior World Championship. And
I haven't heard anything yet.
Haven't changed it as far as we're aware. So
no.
basically what happened, just to recap, if you didn't catch that, sorry if we're spoiling it for you. If you don't want to find out, then please do look away now. I'm not entirely sure how that works for commentary, but nonetheless.
Look away or not?
Yeah,
exactly. Plug your ears.
Put the volume on mute for a moment. But the Moto3 Junior World Championship race 1 did see Dennis Foggia crossing the line in first position. However, the stewards deemed that he gained an unfair advantage as he went wide around the outside of the opening turn. And basically, what that meant was that he ended up finishing down in, I think, 10th position after demoted 9 places, so just inside the top 10. And that meant that the podium changed hands in the form of Alonso Lopez taking another victory on the bounce, just ahead of the other straight Lithia bike of Jeremy L Koba. So a very, very exciting podium is what we had. A very unexpected podium as well. So we should be set for a very exciting race, and the grid as well, seeing Kazuki Misaki and Ayagura looking to try and make a vengeance after what was a good race for Kazuki Misaki, but a disappointing race for Ayagura after ending that race in well, it was another retirement for him. But here is the pole man then, Dakota. Kazuki Misaki starting from the front of the grid.
Yeah, so he didn't have such a good start. But unfortunately, what's good is that he gets a second race now, and finishing. I think he crashed in Albacete, but then finishing 24th in Le Mans, so he hasn't really had a great start. But anyways, it's getting hot out there. It's nearly 2 o'clock, and compared to race 1, the lap times I have a feeling are going to go a lot slower, just like in in qualifying yesterday. And here's his teammate, Ayagura, qualified 2nd yesterday. And him also, he hasn't had an unbelievable start of the championship, with only a 5th place finish in Le Mans, but and crashing out in race 1 in Albacete. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if these 2 guys in the Asian team can help each other out this race, and hopefully not crash, and hopefully get a podium finish. So, and here 3rd place, we've got Jeremy L Koba. He's had a good season, good start of the season, winning the first race in Albacete and finishing 3rd in Le Mans and 7th. So he was there battling in race 1. Unfortunately, he got bumped into turn 1 on the last lap, leading it. So which shuffled him back to about, I think, 7th place. But anyways, you know, he's a fast contender and he's definitely one to look out for. 4th place, we've got Vicente Perez. He's had a consistent start of the season, finishing 10th in Albacete, but then having 2 6th place finishes. He wasn't doing too bad in race 1. So it'll be interesting to see if he can have another good race and do well. Boy, it's getting hot out there. I was just looking out there, and everyone's got their home umbrellas that they brought with them. So here we have Sergio Garcia, another fast rider, young rider. I was speaking to one of the boys in the garage, and they were saying that he was definitely one young talented kid to look after. So get well soon, Shantrai. I'm not sure who. Do you know?
That's Somkiat Chantra, of course, who's got the broken hand after the practice accident that he suffered on Thursday. He's going in for surgery tomorrow, as we understand it.
Look at him. Fans out in the heat. I love that. I love people who just stand out there in the middle of the heat, because that's truly, you know, very big fans. So
absolutely, yeah. There's Jaume Mesilla. Now keep an eye out for him. Very, very quick is Jaume Mesilla, and of course took 2nd place in that race last time out. 16 years of age he is with the Cuna de Campeones team. Am I saying that right? Is it Campeones or
Campeones?
Campeones. I can't.
Hey, you're getting better.
Getting slowly, little by little. I should probably learn Spanish, given that we're in.
Well, you're living here, so I hope you're speaking Spanish to the people around you, right?
Little bits here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
you'll get there.
Poquito a poquito is what they say, right?
Here's Nico.
Exactly.
It's good to see Nico here.
It's really good to see him as well. Did he win a race here in
yes,
Moto2?
He did, and he was actually he's actually working for I think the team now for Raul, and since Raul now Fernandez is going to World Championship, I think he can do with some extra help from him.
Absolutely, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Raul Fernandez gets on. Of course, don't forget, he is still fighting that broken wrist that he sustained last time out at Le Mans for the Junior Moto3 World Championship. Now, that was because basically he crashed in warm-up. It was very wet conditions. Le Mans was a very strange weekend in the fact that we had all very wet sessions. And then the race was dry. Come back to that in a moment, because this is the man who now finished, according to our timing screens, in 8th place in the opening race. Dennis Foggia. He doesn't look too happy, does he? Oh,
No.
Can't say you blame him either, really.
I don't blame him either. I mean, he must be still, you know, thinking about it. But what he needs to do is do exactly what he did in race 1. You know, just check out and have a good start. Do his lap times. He knows he's fast. He doesn't have to worry about that. And then hang on to the last lap and, you know, and see what he can do.
It looks like he's won the lottery and lost the ticket at the moment, so hopefully he can pick that one back up. Again, here is Alonso Lopez, first in the championship, as you can see. DNF'd in Albacete in the opening round. However, 2 wins now back-to-back here at Catalonia means he does lead the way in the championship on 50 points. That's an incredible result there for the Estrella Galicia rider, and they're really going to be looking at him for next year. I mean, I think it's his 3rd year in the class in the CEV European Championship. I have got my notes to hand somewhere. I will research that in just a few moments, but he's been in the championship for quite some time now, and he's really going to have to be thinking about making some moves up to the World Championship. Here is Andy Farrad, who of course got caught up in that incident with Aleix Viu on the opening, was it the opening lap? The opening couple of laps in the race, it all went pear-shaped for those guys, didn't it, down at turn 5. So he'll be looking to get back on the top step of the roster. Unfortunately, however, they do have another chance. And unfortunately, he's got a great team behind him in the form of the. He's riding for the Astra Honda team banner, but he is actually under the guidance of the Asia Talent team, as it were. So. They were able to get the bike rebuilt because they've got a lot of bodies and a lot of people down there. Another team that's doing very, very well, and another rider that's doing great so far is this man here, Mattia Cassidy. A great, not a great start to the season, I should say, rather, but nonetheless, 1 point on the board, 26th position. He's getting faster and faster race by race. Don't forget, it's his first time in the CEV Repsol this year, much like many of these riders, I admit. But nonetheless, I'm quietly impressed with him. 12th on the grid is not a bad feat to be holding, is it?
No, like you said, you know, it's his first time in the CEV series, and it isn't an easy class. So especially in Moto3, and but anyways, like you said, it's his first year. I think race by race he'll be improving, whether it's, you know, his confidence with the bike or team-wise or anything. So, but yeah, like you said, 12th position isn't a bad position. We've seen guys start from 12th and, you know, win a race. So nothing's impossible.
In the case of the World Championship, we've seen Brad Binder start from 24th and win a race, haven't we? Let's be honest. Here's Aleix for you then. I think he's really going to be hoping for a good result. Look at that on the right-hand side of your screen. 3 DNFs in a row, 48th in the championship, and Nil Poix on the board. It's been a bit of a disaster of a start to his season more than anything, really. It's just not gone his way at all.
No, it happens. You know, I know a lot of riders who've had a really bad start of a season with 3 or 4 DNFs the first 4 races, but then after that, they've done an incredible season after that. So hopefully the luck changes around.
Here's Rory Skinner, the British rider from Scotland. As you saw there, just took a point in the last race of the championship, which is of course race 1 earlier on today, and not doing too badly. We were speaking earlier about this. We spoke to Mark Keane, and he said about how the team think they're going to struggle here with the KTM, and because the KTM just doesn't suit the bumps of the circuit, but it's just not really that suited to its characteristics. So we'll have to wait and see how Rory and of course his teammate Dan Jones, who starts a bit further down the order, will get on. We'll run you through that grid order in just a few moments' time. You can hear now the bikes have fired up. So here is the grid then for the race. It's an Asia Talent team 1-2 with Kazuki Masaki, Ayagura, and then the Estrella Galicia rider Jeremy L Koba on the front row. Then it's Vicente Perez, Sergio Garcia, and Yuki Kuni. Row 3 is headed by Jaume Mesilla. Alongside Mesilla is Fernandez and Foggia. Then it's Alonso Lopez, Andy Farid, and Mattia Cassidy. Yari Montella, Aleix Viu, and Skinner. Then Petraka, Vietti Ramos for the VR46 Academy team. And then Makar Yuchenko, who's had a very disappointing weekend so far. Row 7, Gabriel Martinez Abrego, Apiwat Wongtananon, Jose Garcia, Bruno Palesi Iadachi, Aaron Palenko, Gerard Riu, Stefano Nepa, Dan Jones, Andy Verdois on row 9. You think we're towards the back of the grid, but we're nowhere near. Lauren Faber, Alex Ruiz, Matteo Guidini, Angel Lorente, Andrea Cavalieri, Ricardo Rossi, Daniel Casmayudin, Rufino Florido, Jason De Pasquire, the Swiss rider, Josh Owens, Filippo Fellini, Ivan Morales, Matthias Megel, Chandler Cooper, Clement Rouge, Livan Luchel, and Ryan van der Lagmar.
Wow.
Are you impressed?
You should get an applause for that.
Dear, oh dear, what a grid. 45 riders taken to the grid, 44 riders taken to the grid for that one. Unbelievable. So excited. That's capacity grid as well. There were 49 riders on the entry list, but not all of them were allowed to race, of course. Oh, problems for Jacito Garcia as well. We didn't see his bike being wheeled off, but it looks like he's now going to, well, he might be able to take his position on the grid. I think it's, if he gets wheeled off on the actual grid, he has to start from pit lane, but he will be able to rejoin, but will he have to start from the back of the field?
He might have to start from the back of the grid. I'm
not sure on the rules on this one. I think he will do, so I'm just trying to think back to when I saw a similar situation, but that was on the proper grid, and that was the last time I saw something like this was last year with the championship, and that was with Della Porta, wasn't it, on the grid?
Yeah, I remember when it got on
his bike caught fire, yeah, and then he was able to rejoin. But he wasn't able to rejoin. I'm sure he joined from the back of the grid.
Yeah, he did.
He got the tyre indication there. What's the
most
situation?
Of them, they're actually half-half with the rear. You know, some of them are using the soft compound and others medium. So I think it really depends on the riding style and what the rider feels most comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. Just to mention the riders that are on the mediums, all the others are on soft. It's Kazuki Misaki, Ayagura, Yuki Kuni, Philippe Salak and Denis Foggia. All the other riders are on soft, as far as we're aware. That includes L Koba, Garcia, Mesilla, Raul Fernandez, sorry, not Philippe Salak, rather, I should apologise, he's on mediums as well. So a few riders there. Vicente Perez also on the soft rear as well. So interesting to see how it'll go. And we saw they're all on the medium front tyres, all on the soft rear, so they want a bit more longevity perhaps on the front tyre, but on the rear of it they seem pretty happy with the softer compounded rubber that they're going to be using.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you said, 16 laps isn't a whole bunch, and these tires can go a lot longer than that. So they've already used the soft this morning in the race 1, and I think it lasted pretty well, so I don't see why not use it again this afternoon.
No, exactly. We're going to see how these guys get on. It's going to be a fun race. There is the pole man, Kazuki Misaki, Ayagura and Jeremy L Koba alongside him on the front row of the grid. So don't forget, 16 laps of the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya coming up very, very shortly indeed. Will history repeat itself? Will Denis Foggia finally break his ducks of a victory from 9th on the grid? We'll have to wait and find out in just over 16 laps time. Riders just taking their places on the grid. Tear off there for the second place man of sorry, what looks to be actually Vicente Perez, actually, yes indeed, just behind Kazuki Misaki, just taking a tear off of his visor. So there we are, the grid is now formed up. We wait then for the green flag to be waved at the back of the grid. Then we'll be ready to get the FIM CEV Repsol underway. There is the green flag. Look towards the left-hand side of your screen. Wait for the red lights to come on here at Barcelona. Race 2 of the Junior Moto3 World Championship is underway, and a great start from Misaki off the front row of the grid. Also, L Koba getting away well. Looks like Yuki Kuni's also got some good getaways from the second row of the grid, but Misaki with the initial advantage as they come streaming down towards the first corner. But who's going to get the slipstream? They're nearly 4 wide, nearly 5 wide in towards turn 1. Here comes Foggia once again. Foggia from 9th into 3rd position off the opener, but the two Australian Galicia bikes leading the way. And at the moment, it looks like it's number 14 of Garcia who leads the way. And indeed it is a brilliant start there as a couple of riders ran wide through the first corner, but Garcia then leads the way from L Koba, from Foggia in the opening stages. Misaki and somebody else on wide. Is that Fernandez again? Another DNF for Raul Fernandez. Oh, a disaster there for the Spaniard. Unbelievable problems he's had with that Mahindra so far this year, and it's all gone Pete Tong for him once again. So still Misaki in 4th place, some positions changing hands further down the order. Looks like Apiwat Montanon's getting in amongst the mix, as well as Celestino Vietti Ramas. Meanwhile, still Garcia with the advantage. L Koba in 2nd, 3rd place of Foggia as they go through turns 7 and 8. At the moment, the big long snake sneaks on through, and Foggia there, Dakota, already looking to try and take that advantage back.
Yeah, he's taking all that anger out of him. And, no, I mean, oh, someone just lifted their hand up again.
Let's have a look. I can't see anybody slowing off the racing line. I'll have to wait and see if we can see anything happening. Nobody. Oh my goodness gracious me, an absolutely huge crash. Oh dear, number 21, Alonso Lopez caught up in there, as well as I can see, is that Yari Montella? It looks like it's Montella. It's definitely one of the 658 Squadron Corsa bikes into turn number 10. That was an unbelievably huge crash. Looks like, from what I saw, Montella,
he went way too deep.
Yeah, way too hot. That was a proper Stefano Manzi.
That was, we call that T-bone steak.
A T-bone steak?
Yeah.
I like the sound of that, but not in terms of when it happens to a rider. However, back out in the front of the lead of the race, unbeknownst to his teammate, the two leaders now, Jeremy L Koba and Sergio Garcia. Now Denis Foggia coming under some pressure from Vicente Perez, whilst Misaki and Kuni go head-to-head as well. And keep an eye out just behind as well, because João and Mesilla also not too far away from this scrap. Likewise, Josito Garcia into the left-hander of turn 2, but going into the right of turn 3. Looked like, fortunately, both riders were okay, but it was a very big crash.
That was a big one.
I was actually very impressed with how long that number 21 of Lopez was able to hold on. There we are, we can see the riders involved, and Yari Montella, a real shame there for the number 55. So disappointed. Let's have a look then at a replay.
If you see on your right-hand side, he'll start, or in the middle, he'll start drifting in.
Look just behind that. Yeah. Oh, so hot. That was a huge crash
but
as well.
way too deep. I mean, he knew exactly.
My
poor Lopez nearly had it saved, but couldn't quite hold on to it as soon as he hit the curb.
That was unbelievably how hard he hit the ground as well. Nonetheless, great work from the marshals and the officials to get them both out of harm's way in good time. So now leading the way is Vicente Perez from Dennis Foggia. So the two Australian Galicia bikes have been shuffled back after the opening couple of laps. Lap 2 out of 16 we are on here at the Circuit de Catalunya, and Sergio Garcia now ahead of his teammate Jeremy L Koba, deep on the brakes for Yuki Kuni as he looks on the inside of teammate Masaki into turn 10. Can't make it through there, unfortunately. Into the left we go, and it's now, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 riders scrapping inside.
Masaki and Kuni always seem to be racing together.
They do.
Not sure if it's a team
Team tactics.
team tactics or what, but they always seem together.
Indeed.
Oh, that's Kuni. Kuni just went really deep into turn 14, I think it is.
Yeah, managed to hold it on. We saw no jump starts. We've just had confirmation of on our timing screens as Dennis Foggia now looks to try and take the lead away. Hopefully he won't be going too wide at turn number 3 this time. I mentioned earlier on that I thought it was the number 20, the number 20 of Jacinto Garcia. Of course, I'm getting my numbers and my classes completely mixed up because it's Apiwat Wongtananon who's going up the inside and into the leading group. Apiwat Wongtananon, what a ride this is for the Thailand rider. He started way down the order in 20th position,
wow.
and now he's up in 7th place. In fact, further up than that.
That's amazing, and it's always good to see, riders that move up that many places, and because sometimes when they finish 7th, you don't appreciate how good that 7th place is, especially if you start in 20th. But the track temperature is actually 47, so it's definitely a hot one. And like I said, the lap times were going to be a lot slower, and they are. They're at least a second slower than this, this morning's race.
There's Iagura. Oh, Iagura's not made the start of this race. It's unbeknownst to, or he's retired from this race. I did wonder where he'd gone. So, okay, so Iagura did not make the start of that race.
He doesn't even have his leathers on.
No, okay, so unless he's retired, and I can't remember. I honestly, so much has happened since the start of the race.
You should have called me. I would have raced out there.
I'm sure Alberto Puig wouldn't have minded too much.
No.
Meanwhile, Kazuki Masaki, third position for him. Deep on the brakes he goes. There's a bit of a head shake there from Jeremy L Koba. And Sergio Garcia has actually dropped a bit further back off of this pack as well. There is Garcia. You can just see him there on the Australian Galicia bike, just ahead of Apiwat Wongtananon. Wongtananon, of course, with the VR46 Mastercam team.
The one thing I must say about this class is you cannot relax. As soon as you relax about, let's say, 2 seconds, 4 of them can go underneath you. That's why you got to be focused and super, focus on who's ahead of you and not relax.
I don't know about them not relaxing, but we certainly can't relax up here in the box either, let's be honest. Mind you, that is our job, I guess. Meanwhile, Makar Yuchenko, a great race from him so far as well. He has made some serious gains. You just saw on the graphic on your screen, fastest lap for him. He started down in 18th place. He's now up into P9 on that last lap as well. So Makar Yuchenko on the Realia Vintura Academy machine is making some serious inroads in the rest of the field on his KTM. So really good to see that. Meanwhile, João Mesilla now ahead of Dennis Foggia, so it's Mesilla that leads the way.
Yeah, they're running 2.5 seconds slower than their best lap time yesterday. So that just shows you how hot it is out there.
Yes, indeed it does. So here we go then. Let's have a look at this. This was the, this is Fernandez and Florido.
Oh no.
Oh no, so Fernandez
another T-bone, I hope.
So Fernandez went off. We saw that at turn number 4. And now there's been an incident with him at the hairpin. We only saw the back end of that incident. We might see a full replay on the highlights after this race. But now it is Mesilla from Foggia from Vicente Perez.
This group seems to be a bit bigger than race 1.
It's only early stages at the moment. There's still 12 laps remaining. Anything could happen, of course. So it's going to be interesting to find out what will happen as we go down into that hairpin, of course, in the latter stages of the race. And I mean, in these hot conditions as well, how much does it fatigue you when you're riding a bike at this level, especially in groups like these guys are riding?
I mean, it's funny because you don't really notice it so much on the bike. You notice it more, for example, on the grid, or if you notice it during the race, you'll notice it the last laps. Especially like 5 laps ago, you'll start noticing fatigue, or your mouth starts to dry and you're looking for that extra bit of water. That's why you see some riders with the camel pack on the back of their leathers, which help a little bit. And but it is, again, you need to stay hydrated during the day. You need to drink water all day long, so you stay hydrated during the race.
Indeed, we come down to the first corner, so on the brakes for Denis Foggia, and that is Bruno Palese-Iararchi. Unfortunately, his TM racing machine has gone down the road. That looks like it's at turn 10. Yes, it is. So a disaster there for him, unfortunately. Here we go. Let's see what happened. This is actually an overtake of the replay at the front. I apologise. So we don't actually. Oh, hang on. Let's see. It might be. Oh,
high side.
Yeah, very nasty on the exit of the corner. So there we go.
Look at him run.
Yeah, straight out of harm's way for Iararchi there, the Italian rider. Disappointing race for him. Meanwhile, now out at the front, Jaume Mesilla leads the way. Denis Foggia in second. Looks like Jeremy Alcoba's made some good gains. He's up into P3 on the Strega Galicia machine. It's a good start for him. Then is the number 63 of Vicente Perez. Perez having a good race so far.
No, you said it right the first time.
Did I?
Yep. He did the th.
The th instead of the z.
It's all about the th here.
It's a popular thing with Spain.
Yeah.
Big look over the shoulder for Jaume Mesilla as well, and I'm so impressed with Mesilla so far this season as well. I mean, best result going into this championship. He took second, his best finish was second in 2015 actually, and finished fifth in the championship in the CV Moto3. But nonetheless, he's just been quick, he's just been consistent. He's been there and thereabouts, 16 years old from Valencia, and doing a great job out there leading this race. But Denis Foggia in second place, he's really going to be looking to try and change that as the field comes cascading through that chicane. It's just like one big long snake, isn't it, as they go through that corner?
Yeah, and it's a lot better than what MotoGP first had initially, because it was a really tight one before that one, and most riders didn't really like it. So
Jaume Messilla's team watching on. We come down the start finish straight, heading into the first corner, 3 wide for third position, maybe even for the lead of the race, as they go the inside with Vicente Perez. Will he manage to find a way through? Yes, indeed he does. So he now is ahead of Jaume Mesilla. Mesilla now relegated down into 4th position as Denis Foggia takes over at the front of the field. Through that bumpy turn 3, somebody out well wide. They're going to need a ticket to get back in from there. Didn't quite see who that was. It was off the circuit. But nonetheless, it's going to hinder their race somewhat. Good race also for Rory Skinner, sitting inside P14. So looking pretty good for him so far. Should mention a few riders that have stopped. Of course, we've seen Clement Rouge. He's gone into pit lane. Yari Montella, of course, caught up in next with Alonso Lopez. And Bruno Palese-Iararchi as well, also out. And looks like Gabriel Martinez Abrego, the Mexican rider who, of course, wildcarded in the Moto3 World Championship in America earlier this year, has unfortunately stopped as well just after just 4 laps of running. So big disappointment there for Martinez Abrego. He'll be looking for a better run to form. However, the lead or the battle intensifies as Garcia goes up the inside. Oh my goodness gracious me!
No.
Big crash there with looks like it was Koba caught up as well, and I can't quite see. It looks like the Avintia bike of, was it Yurchenko who was in that mix?
Koba's not having a good weekend.
No, he is not. It was Yurchenko, so the other Reali Avintia Academy bike. So L Koba and Yurchenko out of this race, exactly the same as we saw just a couple of moments ago at turn number 10. Dear oh dear, it's just a race of attrition this is turning out to be, isn't it?
You know, it's unfortunate for Koba too, because he's, you know, you can imagine him just going into that corner and all of a sudden, for no particular reason, you know, you're basically flying off your bike because someone else runs in the back of you. So the problem is in those situations, you're in a group of, you know, riders, and the braking markers.
Oh, he's applauding him as well. He's a sarcastic round of applause for Yurchenko. Let's have a look then, see if we can analyse what happened. So Yurchenko there on the inside, the number 52, Jeremy Alcoba, he just got his braking point all wrong. Yeah, way too hot, over the bike, catapulted out of the way. Oh, dearie me.
The problem with those situations when you're in a group of people like that is that you don't know where the brake marker is. You know, you kind of judge from where the other ones are braking in front of you, but they could be braking way too deep, and then you're just going to be running in the back of them. So it's always a difficult situation like that.
all this has done is benefited the riders behind as well, because the running order now with the top 10 sits Vicente Perez, Dennis Foggia, Jaume Mesilla. I say that's changed already. Mattia Cassidy, Yuki Kuni, Kazuki Masaki, Apiwat Wongtanan, Celestini VFC Ramos is having a great race in 9th place, and Aleix Ryu, who desperately needs a finish, is in 10th position so far. Some great racing taking place. They come out of turn 9 of Kamsa. Let's see if we get any more overtakes coming down into turn number 10 of La Caixa. So Foggia deep on the brakes, and number 63 of Perez on the outside. Will he hold the position? Yes, indeed he does. Into the left-hander we go. Here we are looking at the VR46 team through the right-hander, and Foggia desperately trying to take that win, but also Perez would love to dearly do the victory as well, if he's able to.
And seems like there's about 9 of them in this group, so definitely a big group. One of the biggest groups I've ever seen in the Spanish Championship, so it's good. Oh, here's another rider down. Not sure.
Matthias Megel, that's with the Dynavolt intact GP
also
Junior
third
team.
10.
Yeah, let's have a look. High side, low side. Oh, he was lucky to not get collected there, wasn't he, as well? Dear, oh dear.
Turn 10's always, we've seen a lot of crashes there in the World Championship. You know, Mark Marquez crashing there, Cal too. So it's a really easy corner to lose the front because you're coming in there hot, breaking in really deep into a really tight left-hander. And so, 5 of them wide there.
Incredibly close racing as they go through the sweeping right-hander of turn 3. Here we go then up the inside with Yachenko, as the Asian talent bike's really coming into foray now as well. Some brilliant racing as Yuki Kuni's got himself right up in and amongst the mix on the number 33 bike, and Kuni could dearly do with a result. Of course, competing in the Asia Talent Cup last year. He's a rider with a good amount of prowess, but would love to take a podium, and I'm sure Alberto Puig from the Asia Talent team would love that to be the case as well. Sergio Garcia, though, is sitting right on his rear wheel. We're looking to try and change that. And also, Apiwat Wongtanan on the black and the fluorescent yellow machine just in front there of Mattia Cassidy. He's having a great race so far, is the Thailand rider. Came from the world of scooter racing, did Apiwat Wongtanan. Got selected for the VR46 Master Camp team, and is proving that his adaptation to the class has been very, very good indeed. Just sitting in front of his fellow VR46 teammates in the form of Celestini Vietti Ramos. Through the right-hander we go, Dennis Foggia, Makar Yuchenko and Yuki Kuni all lining astern at the moment, all riding in the group. And of course we've got the likes of the riders from second downwards really all having to attack and defend at the same time as well. And how difficult is it to just judge your braking point? And as you said, you know, you follow the braking point, but how difficult is it to do that in a group when you've got somebody trying to stab your way up the inside whilst you're trying to find your way ahead of somebody else?
Well, sometimes you tend to focus a bit too much on the guy ahead of you, and basically all of a sudden you'll get one that goes underneath you, then you kind of get out of rhythm, and then another one goes underneath you, which you see a lot of times. But it's not really difficult. You just have to kind of cope with the speed and the situation you're in, you know. And but listen, these boys race every weekend, and they know what it's like. It's not like it's new to them, so they get used to it.
Exactly. Now a group of 9 riders involved for the lead of this race here in the Moto3 Junior World Championship. So now it is Yuki Kuni who has taken the lead over at the front ahead of Dennis Foggia, with third position being held on to by the what looks to be Vicente Perez. Indeed it is, yeah, Vicente Perez just ahead of Jaume Mesilla and Apiwat Wongtanan. Wongtanan having his best race of his Junior Moto3 World Championship career, doing a great job out there, and Yuki Kuni already beginning to break away as well. He had 0.3 of a second in that last sector, and surely that advantage is going to be larger as he goes off onto that very slippery AstroTurf. And also, I just want to mention as well, looks like by the gathering of things, I can see Rory Skinner in the background of that.
I can see.
And also Aaron Palenko. So this 9-way scrap could become a 12-way scrap by the end of this race with, what's that, 6 laps on the end of this one remaining. place your bets, please. This is going to be very exciting indeed. Don't forget, you can follow the Junior Moto3 World Championship and, of course, all the CEV stuff on Twitter at CEV Motorcycle and also on Facebook as well. It's just at CEV Motorcycle. Just search it on your Facebook page. You can also find us on various other social media platforms. And somebody else, Josito Garcia, has gone down the road being stretchered away. That's a real shame there for him. We hope he's okay. Let's have a look. Big crash at the first corner. Goes tumbling through the gravel. Well, the fortunate thing is he is moving there, but he just looks very, very winded indeed. We do hope the Spanish rider is okay. Of course, running for the FIM 55 racing team. It's been a bit of a disaster of the day for FIM 55.
Cooney has actually put the fastest lap time with a 55.4, a half a second faster than anybody else around him. So he's really pushing now.
Great work from Yuki Cooney. He's really trying to break away from the rest of the field, but he's going to have a tough job to do it with Dennis Foggia and co in company. So 5.5 laps remain as they go through the right-hander, then into the left. Very close indeed as Mesilla looks up the inside of Perez, but can't quite find a way through into there. Manages to hold on very nicely. However, they come down the back straight, or the short straight, I should say, rather, which isn't really a straight because it curves away, and then into turns number 7 and number 8. Up the hill we go. It looks like a very difficult corner, that one as well. And somebody slowing down. Is that Cooney who's had a problem? Let's have a look as we go into the right-hander. He's lost the lead, definitely. Is it a mechanical, though, for Yuki Cooney? Big front-end wobble, though, from Makar Yuchenko in second place. Where has Cooney gone? Is he still in this group? Let's have a look for the Asia talent. There he is. So he's still there, but he's just dropped down. Here comes Masaki. Here comes Masaki. He's going to go on the inside. Are they all going to make it through? Oh, by a wing and a prayer they are. But Yuki Cooney as well loses right out in that, mate.
It looked like he was going way too deep.
Oh dear, that was very close indeed. I could see that happening. I could see the breath. I could see your face turning a very big shade of crimson as well.
That's like the worst. Especially for us riders, it's happened to all of us where you go way too deep and you're like, you go super tight just in case, and it's not a good feeling.
Very close indeed. So Yuki Cooney now shuffled back into what looks to be about 7th position so far.
I think Cooney went back to go get his teammate.
I think he must have done.
He's probably like, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Let's pull away. So Dennis Foggia now leads the way with 11 laps out of 16 completed, but that's going to change very shortly because here comes Sergio Garcia. Will he try to think about a move up the inside? Very late on the brakes. Here he goes. Doesn't quite manage to make it stick. Holds on to 2nd position so far. But Dennis Foggia leading the way with the Asia talent bike of what looks to be, I can only assume, yes, it must be Masaki, very close behind indeed. There, no, it's Cooney. So Cooney has made some significant ground over the last few corners. That's brilliant to see from Yuki Cooney. So that slipstream really helping the Japanese rider as Vincente Perez gets in on the act as well. He's up the inside into turn 4. So it now is Garcia from Perez, from Foggia, from Mesilla, and now Cooney coming through, from Cooney, and then, rather, I should say, Masaki coming through as well. Very close racing into the left, and then the right we go. It's really hotting up. I'll be very surprised, I have to be honest, if all of these riders are able to finish this race because they're battling in the leading group, and anything can happen. And I'm very impressed, actually, with the likes of Aleix Viu sitting inside the top 10 there. And what Viu needs, really, for his confidence, more than anything, is to just have a clean race.
Yeah, 100%, especially after all the bad luck he's had so far. And but anyways, now he's reached the back of the group. Now he can work his way up. He's got still 6 laps to go, so it's not impossible. And yeah, that's what he needs. He needs a good finish, get some good points to build his confidence up for the next races.
Absolutely. So into that chicane we go. The rider's now lining the stern. You won't see any moves into there. Managed to hold on very, very nicely indeed. In terms of lap times, actually, it was Sergio Garcia who's at the fastest lap last time around. But as they come over the timing line, will we see that being the case as well? Here we go then. Let's see what happens with these riders. Over the line we go, and the fastest lap between these group went to, by the looks of things, Sergio Garcia on a 156.4, but that lead now is changing at the front because here comes Cooney trying to find his way through the inside. Big moment for Masaki in 3rd place as well. He so nearly lost the front there. That was incredibly close. And now Mesilla comes through, and the retaining pack also falling their way through. How on earth did he hold on to that? Because that front end looked like it was washed wide and he was going down the road.
He was losing the front big time, but good save by him. And I think he saw his teammate go underneath him, and he was trying to not let him through. Oh, big shuffle. Someone pushed Foggia wide. I'm not sure if it was Garcia.
So let's have a look and see what happens then. And a great race also for Mattia Cassidy. We've hardly mentioned him throughout the course of this race, but sitting there in 6th position so far is Mattia Cassidy, doing a great job. Just about to get overtaken by the looks of things by Mesilla as he comes up the inside on the brakes into turn 7. Indeed he does, but nonetheless, after it being only his 4th race for the team, the 658 Squadra Corsa outfit, it's a great result it would be to finish inside potentially the top 5, if not the top 10, for the number 27. Meanwhile, Apuat Bongtananon also sitting in the background of your shot there in the number 22, just ahead of Celestino Vietti Ramos once again, sitting in 8th and 9th place. Those two are respectively. Big shuffle there as Vicente Perez gets rushed out wide by Dennis Foggia. Foggia really has got the bit between his teeth. He wants the victory in this one. Look, they're all wondering what on earth went on there.
Not sure. He was kind of aggressive though.
Let's have a look then. Here we go into turn number 10. So it was... Oh, look, it was problems with the throttle. Yeah, it looks like he's had some drive issues. Because you can see him just tugging at the throttle a couple of times there. The team watching on, hopefully it's not the curse of Catalunya coming to affect Dennis Foggia.
It could have also been his mistake on, different gear. Maybe he put a gear too low, and he was basically trying to fix it and put in another gear. Could be that too.
But nonetheless, with 4 laps now remaining as we've gone over the timing line and into the first corner, he still sits in 4th position, make that 3rd, actually. Or is that, yes, indeed, still 3rd, yet he's now ahead. So he's not doing too badly as Dennis Foggia there, but there are riders behind him who are eager to get themselves onto the podium, including Mesilla, including Perez, including Cassidy as well. Cassidy would dearly love to take a podium as well here at Catalunya to take his first ever rostrum finish in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. Oh my goodness me, massive crash there for Yuki Kuni out of the lead of the race. Disaster! A massive high side for Yuki Kuni. He is moving, but we do hope he's okay. Let's have a look then at and see what's going to happen out in front. But that was a huge crash through turn number 4. Here we go. Here's a replay. High side on the power. My goodness gracious me. That was huge, wasn't it? He went tumbling through the gravel. He was very lucky to not get collected by the bike as well. But
it's too bad because he was running really well the last laps.
This is his race run. Such a shame there. That now means that Sergio Garcia will think all of his Christmases have come at once. He now leads the way with 3 and a bit laps remaining. Into the left-hander we go. What a race this is turning out to be. What a race of attrition as well. There were 44 riders that started. There are now just 32 riders left in the race.
Yeah, even in race 1, I was looking at I think there was 13 or 14 riders that did not finish. So, not a good day for Moto3 class. A lot of, DNFs and crashes, and hopefully all the riders are okay. But it's just, the problem is when it gets so hot, tires feel a little bit greasy, so you start losing grip. And like we just saw there, high sides are very likable or losing the front.
So down into the first corner we go. Here comes Mesilla looking at the inside of Foggia. He gets the move done and dusted. Will he think about Garcia maybe in the next couple of corners or so? Messilla's got the bit between his teeth, but what was his lap time last time around? Let's have a look at the timing screens. Fastest lap last time around for Jaume Mesilla. That was a fast lap overall as well, a 1:55.397. So he was very quick indeed. There are the Estrella Galicia team. They are watching on. What will happen between them as Mesilla runs it a bit wide through turn number 4, holding on though pretty good, but Foggia looks to try and take his position back up through, and here comes Cassidy up into 2nd place, 2 positions in the space of a corner for Mattia Cassidy. What a bit of an overtaking there from the 658 Squadra Corsa rider.
Here comes Foggia back. This is where passing's going to be a little bit more aggressive because 3 laps ago they don't want, but Garcia just looked behind to see where they were at, and yeah, now is the chance, to try to get it, because you don't want to be too far back in the group because,
problems there for Andy Farrad by the looks of things. The number 34 has gone off at the first corner. I don't know if he's gone crashing down the road. There's no scuffs on the leathers, so let's see whether it's a mechanical. Into the first corner, here we go. He's battling with, oh dear, he's dropped the rear through there as he was battling with what looks to be...
He's actually bumped into the rear tire of...
just like Pasquire on
and he lost the rear.
Oh, big front end moment for Garcia. He runs it wide, wide, wide. And here comes Foggia. He runs, my goodness gracious me, that was
that was in your line.
An orthodox line for that final chicane. Oh, Perez has gone off as well. He was just coming back on road. So there we are. My goodness gracious me. Here we go then. Get ready to come over the timing line. 2 laps now remaining. This is crunch time in the Moto3 Junior World Championship. Foggia wants to make amends for that race 1 victory being snatched away from him. He now leads the way as we go on to the penultimate lap of racing. Here comes Jaume Mesilla up the inside of Garcia as well, and also Cassidy up the inside of Kazuki Misaki as well. So Misaki now bumped down to 5th position, and keep an eye out as well. Vincenzo Perez, Abiwat Wong Tananon as Aaron Polanco right in the background. He is shot there, goes well wide into the car park here at Catalunya, probably heading towards the centre of Barcelona more than anything. Into turn number 4 we go. Cassidy up from the bump. He's around the outside of Mesilla. Will he manage to make that stick? That'll be an unbelievable overtake. He's done it. What a move from Mattia Cassidy on the number 27. And he's going to take 2 in 1. Here we go. Up the inside into second place. He's got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he? Mattia Cassidy can win this. He can well do it. Unbelievable riding from the Italian. Into turn 7 and 8 we go. He's going to try and harass Foggia. We're going to come on to the final lap of racing in just under half a lap's time. Through turn 9 of Kamsa we go. Nose to tail these riders run. Absolutely brilliant racing between them. Look over the shoulder for Foggia, but you're looking the wrong way, my friend, because Cassidy is on the outside of you. But here comes Garcia. Here comes Cassidy up the inside, making stick sunshine through there, deep on the brakes. I've seen too many incidents through that corner today for them to not do anything through there.
And there's Foggia still leading him.
Unbelievably good riding from Foggia. He's a great defensive rider, isn't he? He knows where to position his bike. He's very experienced, as you would begin to imagine, having competed here last year. So it's very interesting.
And also, you know, riding in the academy with Rossi and all those boys. You know, they're the best riders in the world. So he's definitely, you know, training for those last laps and how to be more aggressive.
Speaking of last laps, here we go then onto the final tour here at the Junior Moto3 World Championship at Catalunya, Slipstream City. It was Foggia who led the way over the line, but not for long, because surely that lead is going to change as we come down towards the first corner. This is where the race-winning overtake took place last time. Will it be the case this time? But Foggia leads the way into turn 1. He somehow manages to hold on as Jaume Mesilla goes up into second place and Mattia Cassidy in 3rd with Kazuki Misaki in 4th. Oh my goodness gracious me! Mattia Cassidy gets caught up. Unbelievable! At turn 3, he just clipped the rear wheel of the rider in front of him. I'd be very lucky if they're all to finish.
Garcia.
It was Garcia. Is Garcia now out as well? I can't see him on there.
No, he's there.
He is there, he is, you're quite right. Unbelievable. And now Rory Skinner has managed to make his way up, and Cassidy is furious. A great ride. All comes to nothing. Here we go then into turn 3. Let's have a look. Here's Cassidy. He was into Garcia. Oh, just...
He runs a bit, you know, he tries to go underneath the inside, but turn 3 is a really difficult corner to go underneath because it's so fast.
My voice reached levels I didn't think were possible then, I've got to be honest with you as well. Here we go then, Jaume Mesilla leads the way into the right-hander. We're ready then to go into turn 10 of La Caixa. It's going to be the prime overtaking spot, so it's Mesilla that leads the way. But Foggia on the outside, he's deep on the brakes, he's got the leg out, he's going to try and make it stick, but here comes Mesilla back up the inside. Garcia is going to take 3rd place if he holds on, but it's going to be Foggia who gets through into turn 11. Here comes Dennis Foggia. We want to look at the race. Don't watch us in the pit lane. Let's have a look at the race. Here we go into turn number 12. Dennis Foggia, he's just a few corners away as Mesilla is bumped back into 3rd position, nearly high-siding it for Jaume Mesilla into the final complex of corners. It's just one corner separating the number 71, Dennis Foggia, from his maiden victory in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. Here we go then, over the line. Who's it going to be? It's going to be so close. It's going to be Garcia. He gets it on the line.
No
Sergio Garcia
way.
gets it by 26 hundredths of a second on the line. Unbelievable. What does Dennis Foggia have to do to take a win?
I feel for Foggia right now. And I think Foggia thinks he's won the race.
Magnanimous in defeat, if nothing else, but we'll have to see a photo replay of that. But according to our timing screens, 26 hundredths of a second separating them. Kazuki Misaki in 3rd place. He must know now, surely. He must have seen one of the screens around the circuit. But
he's saying sorry to...
Mattia Cassidy.
Yes.
Yeah. There we are. So there we go. So I wonder.
He knows.
He knows. So he got 2nd place there.
Yeah.
There we go. Kazuki Misaki, great podium for the Asia Talent team in 3rd position. Unbelievable bit of riding there. It could have been so much more had Cooney not fallen off in the closing stages of that race. Jaume Mesilla in 4th. Rory Skinner, a great P5. I wonder what Mark Keane, the team principal, will be saying about that. Fantastic finish there. They'll be having the bubbly out tonight. Brilliant result for him. Also Vicente Perez and then Anuat Wongtananon in 6th and 7th place respectively. Alesview finally got a finish on the board in 8th place with Aaron Palenko and Celestino Vietti Lamas not too far behind either. But my goodness me, I do apologise if I got a bit overexcitable on that last lap there, but it got so out of control with so many different things happening. That was just such a frightening incident through turn number 3. We'll see it, of course, on the highlights, but a great victory for Sergio Garcia. What a way to continue his championship charge. Going into this round, it was 9 and 13 points respectively that he's taken in the races, so a 7th and a 4th place. But now, of course, at Catalunya, that's a very, very different story indeed. So Sergio Garcia, 2nd on the podium in the opening race, and now on to the top step, which I believe will be his first ever win in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. So let's have a quick look at the statistics. You can see there in the background somebody doing a quick little burnout. Is that Dennis Foggia, perhaps? Let's have to wait and see. Here we go then. This was the run to the line. Here we go. See Dennis Foggia leading the way, but the slipstream is just too powerful. There's the line, and that is the difference that 2600ths of a second makes. Incredibly close. Let's rewind it and watch it again. There we go. 2600ths of a second. Unbelievable. So Sergio Garcia, and that is then his first ever victory in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. We were so focused on Dennis Foggia, given his unfortunate set of circumstances in the opening race, that we completely forgot about Sergio Garcia taking his first ever win in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. Brilliantly close between those two. Into the left-hander we go. Fist pumping through the air, cutting his way back through pit lane. A fantastic result for team and for rider. So there is Dennis Foggia. Just wondering, I think he thinks he has still won actually, because he's just parked his bike, I think, in the wrong position in Parc Ferme. I think he's just put his bike in the first place grid slot. Let's have a look. Here's that run to the line again. Race direction, photo finish in operation, but I'm wondering, where's the line? Is it there or is it there? I think the line's there. There it is, yeah. So, yeah, Sergio Garcia definitely had that. Photo finish in progress, just in case. But, yeah, we can see Sergio Garcia clearly a front wheel ahead of Dennis Foggia. The closest race I've ever managed to witness was a 1:25 race back in 2011 at the Sachsenring, when it was actually a photo finish 0.000 of a second separating Johan Zarco and Nico Tirol from the 1:25 race win. And they actually had to call it on the rider who had set the fastest lap in the race, which was pretty exciting. But there we are. Sergio Garcia is the race winner by 2600ths of a second. An incredible run to the line for the Spanish rider, taking his first win in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. What a way to do it. What a way to have it. Such a fraughtly contested race. The likes of Foggia, Mesilla, Misaki, of course, Cooney, Cassidy, right up there in and amongst the mix. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 riders, all in and amongst the mix and battling beautifully. And you've got to feel for Dennis Foggia as well. What does he have to do to get that race victory? Just seems to not be going his way at every conceivable opportunity. He took the checker flag, but unfortunately, after the race, the stewards in the opener, as they lift the placard just behind him as well, the celebrations continuing on in the podium. Well, nonetheless, Dennis Foggia showing his talent, and nonetheless his consistency as well, if nothing else. His consistency has been brilliant over the course of that race. His lap times were just so on point. It was absolutely fantastic. So what a final lap in Moto3. I've just had about time to get my breath back here in the commentary box, which is always quite useful, especially you know, when you're doing the job that I end up doing.
Great job, Sergio.
Here is the
big
winner.
battle, but looks like it was a hot one. But congratulations.
Bueno, sí, ha sido una carrera muy luchada desde el principio y he sabido gestionar bien estar en las posiciones correctas. Y bueno, dar las gracias al equipo, a toda mi familia y quiero dedicársela a mi abuelo.
Gracias.
Great to hear then from Sergio Garcia. So here are the final results then of the race. The race decided on the line. Sergio Garcia taking his first ever victory in the Junior Moto3 World Championship. Denis Foggia, 26 hundredths of a second behind. Jaume Mesilla takes a well-deserved podium in third. So that's changed actually since we saw it on the line as well. We'll have to see why that's changed. But Jaume Mesilla does take third. Kazuki Misaki fourth. Rory Skinner, his best finish of the season. Top 5 for the Scottish rider. Vincente Perez, Afiwat Montananon, Aleix Fiu and Aaron Palenko all getting some great results and their season best as well. Celestino Vietti Ramos, likewise for him. Lorenzo Petracca, Gerard Rio, Daniel Jones. A great race actually for the KRP Racing Steps Foundation squad. 5th and 13th are easily their best results of the season so far, so fantastic for them. Further down the order, outside the points for Riccardo Rossi, Lauren Faber, Andrea Cavalieri, Filippo Fellini, Evan Mariez, Livan Uchel, Ryan van der Lagmar, then Chandler Cooper, Andy Farrell, of course, who we saw with that crash. Here, though, are the highlights of the race. So away from the lights, it was Kazuki Misaki who got the jump from pole position, and quite right as well. It wasn't Iagura who was on the front row, it was the number 52 of Jeremy L Koba. So L Koba alongside him on the front row of the grid. Into the first corner though we went. It was a great start from the Australian Lithium boys. They led 1 and 2 with Al Koba and the number 14 of Sergio Garcia leading the way as some riders went wide at the first corner. Looks like Raul Fernandez got caught up in some stripes. We went down though into the hairpin of turn 10 for the first time. Some big drama there, a massive high side, a massive incident for of Alonso Lopez. Both riders understandably very frustrated at the outcome of that race. Meanwhile, out in front with the lead of the race, it was still the number 71 of Denis Foggia who led the way, but the number 14 of Sergio Garcia was very close behind, and Yuki Cooney was also making some good inroads in throughout the course of the race. However, it would all come unstuck once again into that hairpin as well, further back down the border. Very close indeed for those riders as Bruno Benesi Ironarchi had a very big high side coming out of turn number 10 for the Italian rider. Meanwhile, back out in the front of the lead of the race, it's still Denis Foggia who led the way from the number 63 of Vincente Perez. Just in behind him was Jaume Mesilla. Into the turn 10 hairpin we went. Garcia looked up the inside of his teammate, managed to make it stick through there. However, further back, all drama happened as Shevchenko went into the side of the number 21 of Alonso Lopez. Much of the disaster, and Alonso Lopez applauding the bad rider and also giving him the royal wave as well as we head into the chicane once again with the number 71 of Denis Foggia leading the way from Vincente Perez. Also drama, there must have been a lack of grip or something down there as the German rider of Matthias Mengel went down. Also went down was Jacinto Garcia. He looked hurt, but we hear that he was just stretched away and should be okay by the sounds of things. So we'll hopefully wait for that as his gloves were actually taken away from the incident. Meanwhile, the number 71 of Denis Foggia still led the way. The number 33 though of Yuki Cooney tried to make some significant inroads in this race. He led the way going through the right-hander, was looking great out there. Through the right-hander we went, however he high-sided massively coming out, was very lucky to not get collected by the bike, and that would be his race run. A very disappointing end to the Japanese rider. Into the last corner we went though with the two leaders, which were now Foggia and Sergio Garcia. Garcia tried to place his bike up the inside, couldn't make it stick through there, and then as they came to the line, the slipstream was all that mattered than separating them from victory, and it was Sergio Garcia who took it by 26 hundredths of a second ahead of the second place man of Denis Foggia. So a great race separated by less than a tenth of a second. Well, what a race we had there, Dakota. I've just about recovered from that one. Exciting, to say the least.
Exciting, definitely. And it was good to see, you know, it's good to see racing like that. It was a close one, definitely, to the line. And must be Sergio Garcia. He's a tiny boy. I didn't realize how small he is. And weight also makes a difference on situations like that. So
Garcia, he's only 14 years old. Don't
there you
forget
go.
as well. That explains a lot.
And can I say something? Mesilla did the fastest lap of the race on the last lap.
Incredible. And he managed to pit Kazuki Misaki to third position by just 0.6 of a second.
So
Incredible. That's the width of a wallet.
yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. Not my wallet, you understand, because there's bats that fly out of that thing. But an unbelievable end to the Moto3 Junior World Championship here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Riders collecting their trophy. There's Dennis Foggia. He doesn't seem too displeased with that second place. But nonetheless, he's going to be vying for that top set of the podium next time out in Valencia. There is the race winner. Sergio Garcia is also presented with the Repsol Honda fuel, so the Repsol fuel card, I should say, as well, title sponsor of the CEV, of course. So then they've collected their trophies. Now we wait for the national anthem. What a race, Sergio Garcia and Dennis Foggia. Let me just remind you, 26 hundredths of a second. Jaume Mesilla picked Kazuki Misaki to the line for third place. Of course, the photos will take place after this. And of course, they'll be spraying that cassette up on the podium. One more race to come for you here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, race 2 of the Moto2 European Championship. Meanwhile, here are the championship standings in Moto3 then. So Sergio Garcia now leads the way, 63 points compared to Dennis Foggia's 61. Jaume Mesilla on 52 rather. Alonso Lopez with that DNF on 50. Likewise, L Koba on 50 as well. Vicente Perez on 36. Kazuki Misaki finishing in 4th place, moves up to 7th place. And also Rory Sterling likewise Akira on 10th. Typical day for Makar Yuchenko. Neil Poir for him, 23 points on the board. Yuki Kuni likewise in their second race. Aaron Palenko, Ayagura, Andy Farried. So much promise for the Asian talent team riders, but all coming to field for them, unfortunately just missing out on the podium right to the end of the race there. Bruno Palesi Irachi with that very big high side. Sophia Chanter, of course, not racing here this weekend due to the busting hand that he has got. Jacinto Garcia, we saw him being stretched away. Likewise, Charlie Nesbitt also not racing. Gary Portela crashed out. Andy Bertrand not doing too badly. Daniel Jones making his account on the point board in 26.3 points. And Mattia Cassidy, it all looks so promising for such a long time on that podium, but he still sits down in 29th position, right at the rear end of the point.